Hi y'all, it's Grianan, and welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play featuring TerraFirmaCraft by Bioxx. I believe this is episode 4, but I'm not 100% positive on that. And I did want to make a note about something. One of my viewers made a comment about, oh, I just love how your intro sounds a lot like Mead's, and I'll have to admit, when I first did it, I didn't even notice it. It just kind of came out that way. I think it's from listening to so many of his videos. And then when I heard it, I decided that, well, I kind of liked it like that. And they say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, so yeah, I think he'll be okay with it. So yeah, let's get started with today's episode. What is wrong with me today? It's like I spent a whole weekend not doing anything, so I can't remember what I'm doing. So let's get our sphalerite out. And first thing that we need to do, I did find the clay, remember, in the last episode. And so what you have to do to make your first bars of metal is you have to make clay molds. And you make those by using the boat recipe from Vanilla, and you'll make 4 plain clay molds. Alright, and I already had some made, but that's just fine. Now after that, we have to work with our fire pit. Do I have a thingy on me? Doesn't look like it. I got plenty of sticks, but I also have plenty of these things around here somewhere. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab this one. Go ahead and restart the fire pit. It's all good to go. That was quick. And put another piece in there. Alright, now what you're going to need to do is heat up these sphalerites. Now, what's going to happen when you heat these up? If you don't remember this, I did mention this in my season 1 that never really was, but we're going to go over it real quick. It's going to turn into a liquid. And if you don't put a mold in there, whoa, I messed up, guys. Whoa, fail, Gree. First you have to turn the clay molds into ceramic molds. Alright, so what they're going to do is, you see it starts out as warming, it's going to go hot, and it is eventually going to turn to a ceramic mold. And then, when it turns into a ceramic mold, we are going to melt our sphalerites. And when the sphalerite turns into liquid, the ceramic mold is going to catch it. Now, when we do this, each one of those little pieces of sphalerite is only going to fill up a very small amount of that bar. It's going to have like a little durability bar, and it's going to fill up a little bit, until about, okay, there's our ceramic mold. We're going to go ahead and leave it right there because that's where we're going to need it. Let's take the sphalerite and put it back in there. It's going to start warming again. It's going to fill up that little bar that's going to look like a durability bar, but instead of going down, it's going to go up. And it's going to take about 15 pieces of sphalerite to make 1 bar, and I'm not going to sit here and make y'all watch that entire thing. Right now, we're going to wait for one of them to click over. And then I'm going to go show you a few things in between. And after that, then of course we'll do our normal little time skip until we get to the last couple of ones. And there it is, very hot. Now, I did just update, let's go ahead and just get out of this. I just updated the TerraFirmaCraft to the latest build, and they're still fiddling with how they're doing storage, whether some things are large and small, and how much they'll hold, how much they'll stack to, and things like that. I don't think these actually stack to 64 anymore. I think if I split them, I won't be able to put them back together. Let's see. Well, no, actually they do. But if you're playing TerraFirmaCraft and you play with it and you switch from one to the next one, you might notice that 1 minute you're able to, there, paint red. It's got a little bit in there. little tiny red dot there. We'll put another one in there and it'll do the same thing. You might notice that your chests and your stack sizes and things like that are going to fluctuate just a little bit until it gets all worked out. He is working on a system that will be unique to TerraFirmaCraft that that makes storage work in a way that seems to be a little bit more realistic without being absolutely infuriating. So anyways, while we let that one work a little bit, I'm going to go run over here and show you something I'm working on. In our last episode, we were doing trees a lot, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm not real familiar with what all of them look like, so I went up and picked up a sapling of each type, and first I just planted them, just sat out here and planted them, put a little sign nearby that said what this was. This sapling here is white cedar, this sapling here, I believe, I'm glad I didn't guess, is willow. Then after it actually turned into a tree, I went ahead and put the sign up on the tree. And the biggest reason I'm putting these here is it's kind of like a little cheat sheet for me until I learn the differences in each one of them. Because sitting here seeing them side by side, to me, oh, it's really obvious the difference between pine and hickory. And then the spruce, which looks a lot like hickory but has this little bit of red striation in it. You know, these little differences that I didn't notice at first, and so now I'm going to just look at it a little bit more. But not just what it looks like right now. But one of the neat things about TerraFirmaCraft, the seasons make it change. And so as the seasons change, these are going to change. The leaves colors and things like that are going to change, except for in the evergreens, and I want to see how all that works out. So we're going to go ahead and have those there so that I can see those from time to time. Remember, we also planted these down here. I've been trying to find some information on agriculture, and so far there's not a whole lot out there. That's probably because we're all still really learning it. So, and I don't even remember what I planted here, but I am going to make some more farmland, maybe make it look more like a farmland and not just some little plants sitting on the side of a riverbank. Probably just beyond the tree farm there. Well, not the tree farm. That's more the tree farm, but beyond this little tree grove right here, I'll probably make some farmland and I'll put some signs, and we'll watch our crops grow and see what happens. I know that we're going to have to be more aware of the seasons and the weathers and the different things like that. Exactly how that works, don't know. It was a trial and error for us. All right. Well, I think after we pull this one back out, I'm going to cut, well, it's already done. I'm going to cut the recording for just a little bit, fill this till it's almost back up, and then I will see you guys in just a bit, okay? Hey guys, I wanted to show you something real quick. I've taken out my sphaler right here just to get this a little bit, a little hotter, so I can show you something that can happen that's not a good thing. Notice how that says liquid, caution. You want to be careful that you don't let that get too hot, that it disappears. So if you ever see it to where it's gotten that hot, take it out, put it in your inventory, let it cool just a little bit. You can let it cool down to, I usually let it cool down into the dark red a little bit, and I'm, usually the other piece will warm up fast enough, and when it drops in, when the next set drops in, then it's going to cool it a little bit and it's going to be okay. But what you want to do is just then drop it right here, and as long as it's still a liquid, it will fall back in here. If it has cooled down to the point it's no longer a liquid, it will stay up in this top slot long enough for it to warm back up and melt back into a liquid, and then it'll drop down again. But if you let that go too far, get too hot, it will disappear and it will be unusable, and you'll have to start all over again. So keep watching that. And you may even notice in it, like right now, and you may say, oh, that scares me too much. So go ahead and pull this out. It's going to cool down a little bit, but that's okay. it's, you know, it is going to cool down some, but that's okay. Let this cool down a little bit more. Keep watching this. I'm going to let this hit one more. Drop that back in there. And just keep watching it. As long as this gets in here, as long as this melts and drops down in here, like I said, this will get cooler again. At this rate, I may have to let this, yeah, I'm going to let this drop a lot. Go ahead and let that heat up a little bit more while I'm doing this. You just don't want that to get too terribly hot, because then it'll fall in and there won't be anything here to catch it. And to let that fall like that. Maybe we'll be okay. Let's see. Come on, drop in there. Drop in there before that gets to 4. There we go. And you'll notice that when it did, that went down to very hot. And you'll have several more to go through. So just keep watching it though. Like I said, this is going to be faint red, dark red, and it should be fine. And that looks like it looks like it's going to take this one and one more. So if that be the case, I will be back in just a minute. Okay guys, we're back and we're going to be on our last one right now. And I forgot that I made the stone hammer when you guys weren't watching me because I wasn't recording. So we did do this in the first one, but in case you have forgotten, let's do this again. We're going to nap out a stone hammer, and I never do click that. I never do shift click it. What you're going to do is leave the top 2 rows solid, take the third one, leave it as well. Take the first 2 and the last 2 out, and you're going to get a stone hammer head. Very hot. That's about to pop down in there, which is a good thing because that thing is about to... Oh, we need one more. I do have a little bit more, but that's... So let's go ahead and do this. Got a couple things we can do while we're waiting. Go ahead and turn our stone hammer head into a stone hammer. And I already have one, but now we have 2. And remember that before we actually make a metal anvil, we can use our stone hammer on a piece of exposed rock that's naturally occurring. Right click on it. Clicking on it once seems to change its color. Right click on it twice brings up the anvil interface. And we will put one of our stone hammers, doesn't matter which one, in this spot right here. We will then put in our melted metal right there. It will bring up our rules, which for melted metal turning it into an ingot is going to be 3 hits. We're going to send this green one over here with a shrink, or 2. We're going to send it way over here, and I'm just going to hit smack it out of it until it turns into an ingot. Not pretty, but it works. Come on. There we go. So we're going to take it. We're going to do just that. Put this over here. Going to put a hammer in here. I'm going to shrink it. And that's not far enough. Shrink it again. And then we're going to hit till it comes into an ingot. And I accidentally hit it one more time. And yeah, but that's okay. This is... Now we have zinc ingots, which we're going to probably have to... That one we could probably use. This one we couldn't. We'll have to warm up again. But we can't use it just yet because we haven't made the things that we need to turn it into... Oops. To turn it into a pickaxe. Let's turn it day real quick. Yeah, you can see I had some trouble during my last one. Alright, to actually make a pickaxe, we are no longer going to use the napping interfacing face. We're going to use our anvil. So what we have to make plans. And to make plans, you're first going to make a scribing table. Scribing table recipe is a crash. That won't be good. Okay guys, I am not going to attempt to show the recipe since it's crashed twice on me now. I'm just going to actually do the recipe. I'm going to actually punch a bunch of buttons I don't need to, because I do remember it. At least I think I remember it. I'm pretty sure it is the same little boat recipe here, and then a piece of paper, which is the same recipe as vanilla, and then that right there. Oh yes, there we go, scribing table. Okay, and markings, I did this when I wasn't actually recording earlier. Markings are done by taking an ink sac and just turning them into 16 markings. And we need to use paper and markings in a scribing table to let's stick it over here. I really need to get this pickaxe so I can rearrange stuff. Put the scribing table here, and we're going to use these. We're going to put a piece of paper up here. We're going to take the markings and we're going to make them into a shape to make a plan, a blueprint for the tool. Now for the tools like shovels and axes and things, it's going to be the same pattern as we used for napping, but we can't nap a pickaxe. The pickaxe pattern is like so. Now if you did this one wrong, the neat thing about this is you can move the markings around. You know how in napping you can't change it? You can move the markings around till you get it right here. This is a plan pickaxe head. So we're going to go over here and take our hammer, smash on there. The pickaxe head is going to go here, and the zinc ingot is going to go here. Now, we're going to look at this for a second, and we're not going to be able to actually work it right now because it's not hot. We'll have to put it back in the forge. But let's go ahead and look at the rules while we can. The very last rule says that the punch needs to be the last thing that you do. And remember, a punch is going to be moving the little green slider to the right, but not by a lot. And bend is not last, and draw is not last. So this is a large move to the left, and then this is a medium move to the right, and you just need to make sure that we do, you know, like a draw, bend, punch would work if that's enough to move it around. So just play with it a little bit till you get used to it. There probably is someplace online that tells you exactly what you need to do to make it work, but I think that's kind of like cheating. So what we're going to actually do is just try it. So for now, let's take our zinc ingot. I'm not sure if you have to take these out. I'm going to go ahead and take them out just so I don't lose them. We're going to take our zinc ingot and we're going to heat it up. Now, one of the things I suggest you do, especially when you're not, and this is really kind of talking to me, especially when you're not familiar with when it's going to turn to liquid, is drop your ceramic mold there just in case it turns to liquid and you need to catch your melted liquid metal, because if you don't and it melts, then you're going to lose it. So let's go ahead and put some logs back in there. Hit it again. I don't know if I had to do that since it was still lit, but I went ahead and did it anyways. We've got our ceramic mold here. This is heating back up. Drop another one in there. Probably don't need it. And take our zinc ingot and put it in there. Now, just how hot it has it have to be worked? Be quite sure? I'm not sure. I am going to go with I'm going to try, let me give it like 2 hots and see if that works. But I don't know if it'll work, and you'll be with me to see. Alright, put that in there. I gotta click that twice now. Stick that there. Stick that to hot. Probably cooled off too much now anyways. And we're gonna do shrink. No. Oh, what'd I do? What have I done? Oh, it's not hot enough. See? So let's leave those in and see if we can leave them in. Hopefully we can. Let's make them warmer. And if I fail to do this several times, you probably won't see it. but once or twice. Because I probably won't show you every time I failed it. Let's get a little bit warmer. Worst comes to worst, it turns into a liquid, and then I reheat it, and then I put it back in there, and then I'll know it'll be warm enough. Let's try it now. Ah! Apparently that's not warm enough either. Try again. It might be the best thing. That might be actually the best thing to do, is wait until it drops into a liquid format again. It's not got that big of a, apparently doesn't have that big of a, what do you call it, a window of when you can work it. So, especially since I'm probably not going to be able to figure it out myself anyways. Alright, big boy, come on, let's see. Can I work you now? Shrink. Bend, draw, punch. The really bad pickaxe, but I got it. Actually, it's not really bad, but you see it's not perfect. But that's okay. It's my second pickaxe ever, and I'm excited now that we have a pickaxe, and we can actually, well, as soon as we turn it into a, let's get our stuff out of here. As soon as we actually turn it into a pickaxe, we can start hitting rocks. I'm so excited. And it is a zinc pickaxe. It's a pretty low level, but hey, we can hit rocks and shape this a little bit, and now I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. I'm just excited it's here, and we're gonna be able to do that. Let's see. Let's just try it out. I've never hit a rock in TerraFirmaCraft before, so you're going to watch me do it. So exciting, so exciting. What I did notice is you don't get anything. Is that true? You get nothing when you hit your rocks? Or is it just because it's, oh, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, apparently. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to use this brand new pickaxe, and I'm going to tear this up a little bit, and I'm going to build out around it a little bit, start my base, and our very next episode we will take a look at what I've done so far, which may or may not be very much, and we are going to do a sluice. I'm not real impressed with the sluices. I tried one in the episode that you guys didn't see. I didn't get very much out of it, but it is something I want to show you how to do, and it is something that I want in my world, if for no other reason just to have it there. So we're going to be doing that in the next episode. Now, because I made such a mess of this, I've got to spend a little time editing this, and hopefully it won't take me that long, and I'll get it up before tonight is over. If not, it'll be up first thing in the morning. Y'all have a great night, and I will see you later. Bye-bye now.